I'm Allison Gormly, and thanks for joining me for What's the Deal? The jobs report is a hot topic recently because of a big change in its numbers. So, where does the data come from and why do changes happen? I'll break it down. Plus, a growing number of drivers are finding themselves underwater on their car loans. Ahead, advice for those in this position considering getting a new car. And some families looking to sell their home are taking an extra step to make it look more appealing. We'll break down the cost of staging. Here's what's the deal with those consumer headlines and more. The newest jobs report downgraded our employment numbers from prior months, meaning employers added far fewer jobs than previously reported. That drop caused a stir, prompting the president to fire the person in charge of the report. Typically, on the first Friday of every month, the jobs report comes out. The purpose? To provide a snapshot of how the country is doing, specifically who's working and how many jobs got added to the economy.
We need to know what's happening to try to make our everyday decisions, whether we're running a $1 trillion company or if we're just trying to figure out, are we going to spend as much on vacation this year?
The data comes from two surveys, households and employers. Households provide demographics and unemployment rates, while employers provide openings and earnings. But because some may not respond to the initial survey deadline, the report is revised later when more complete data is available.
The holy cow moment in the July jobs report wasn't where we typically see it. It was with the downward revisions for jobs added for the months of May and June, where we subtracted 258,000 jobs, and that was a big change, changing our view of what's been happening. If it had been 5, 10, 15,000, that's just sort of a marginal revision, doesn't change the narrative.
So why the big swing? Hamrick said survey response rates have been declining for some time, which can make the initial numbers less accurate. Some also believe statistical agencies need more funding to improve the data collection, and investment not always popular.
I mean, there has been a bipartisan outcry about this, so maybe there's an understanding that it can't be ignored.
The lower job numbers, according to economists, can also be attributed to a slowing economy and a job market impacted potentially by trade and immigration. The saying goes, what's old is new again. Right now, we're talking about Pokemon cards. They debuted in the U.S. in the late 90s, and many collectors still want to catch them all. The Pokemon cards sitting around your house could earn you some cash. Let's see what they're worth. So I brought a binder to Indie Card Exchange to learn what makes a card valuable.
So the first thing you'll see any Pokemon collector do is they turn it over onto the back of the card. And do we see any whiting on the edges? Which we do down here on the bottom.
Shane Walls said after checking the edges for wear and tear, experts make sure the card spacing is even.
Many of these came off the printing line off center like this. So you want it to be centered.
Also, what's the condition of the hollow, the reflective background surrounding the mythical creature?
Are there any scratches on it? And just a quick glance here, I see a couple, not too bad.
But how the card grades is the key to its value. Companies carefully inspect and rank the card's condition on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being poor and 10 being mint condition with perfect centering. His best guess on our Zapdos?
I think that would be a solid PSA 6, and if you graded it, we would buy it from you.
How much would you think?
A PSA 6 of this, you're putting me on the spot here. If I had to guess, I'd probably say in the $75 to $90 range.
So not bad.
Not bad.
For
yeah.
one card. Mm-hmm. So, who are the buyers?
Women, children, men, grandmas, grandpas.
However, there is a catch. Kids and teens want the new style cards with the flashy artwork. It's the older collectors who want vintage cards like the ones in our binder.
Since COVID hit, they noticed that their cards are worth a lot of money, and they're finding these cards in their basements, their parents' basement, parents' attics.
And the card he nicknamed the Mickey Mantle card of Pokemon? Charizard.
This one in this condition, not graded, because remember grading is going to make it worth more. It's probably worth anywhere between $200 and $250.
Leading some sellers to say, I choose you to get me some cash. To get your cards graded, you can bring them to a card shop and they'll send them to a grading company. It's about a 3-month wait right now and costs can vary, but it should be under $50. Buying a house is pricey right now between steep listing prices and higher interest rates. That's why some sellers are turning to staging to help their listings stand out. That's when a company brings in their own furniture to make your space feel a little more inviting. It's a move filled with mixed emotions.
Very excited, but, sad too. Leaving a house full of memories and children and pregnancies.
To help the next owner visualize their life in the historic house on North Alabama and 21st, Lindsay O'Hara hired a staging company.
Knowing that the home was going to be vacant, we really wanted to have the charm of feeling of a home versus just walls and wood.
She also wants her home to stand out in a pricey market. In central Indiana, June's median original list price is one of the highest on record at $335,000, and the average 30-year mortgage rate was 6.72%. Inventory is also up 22% over last year. So, after some searching online, O'Hara landed on Gray Staging and Design.
The furniture is really nice, and we have toddlers, so we've got stains and we've got wear and tear. So it's nice to see really pretty, clean, light-colored furniture that just makes the home look really beautiful.
Holly Myers owns the company and furnishes homes like the O'Haras using a warehouse full of items, including tables, chairs, art, fake plants, furniture, and rugs.
We're trying to appeal to the most amount of buyers. So the furniture is mainly neutral, and you can change everything with different color pillows, plants, accessories.
Appealing to the masses also means losing any mementos and family photos.
I always tell people, when you go to a hotel, you don't want to know who was there the night before. Same with staging. Like when you're going into a house, you want to imagine yourself in the house.
For most customers, the furniture remains in the house up to 2 months. Myers packages start at $2,800 and can climb depending on the square footage of the home.
It's including all the furniture, accessories, rugs, artwork, the movers, and our staging fee.
An investment that the O'Haras hope will help them cash in on their home a little bit quicker. Stagers like to point out that paying them to stage is cheaper than a price reduction when your house won't sell. Now, this is not a situation you want to be in, owing more on your car loan than the vehicle is worth. But people are finding themselves in that exact spot. Experts say the average amount owed is at the highest level they've seen in years. Cars are an asset that typically go down in value.
Just because you spent a lot more money up front doesn't mean it retains that at a perfect rate.
Ivan Drury with Edmunds said that's one of the reasons that 1 in 4 new car trade-ins are worth less money than the loan attached to them.
We're talking about consumers rolling over nearly $7,000 of their old car value that they haven't paid off into their next loan.
So that almost $7,000 is tacked on to the total amount of the new car loan. As for why this is happening,
you take out a loan for $40,000, $45,000, you're not going to cut it at 5 years. 6 years might not even be appealing. Now you're looking at 7-year loans. So you're stretching out how much farther out people are paying, how much they're paying.
While getting a new car is usually optional, sometimes life makes the decision for you.
You might end up in this situation because you have a third child on the way. That happens. Maybe that it turns out that one kid you thought you're having, it's twins.
If you find yourself owing more than your car is worth, Drury wants you to shop around the financing.
Even if you're rolling over, say, $3,000 or $7,000 of negative equity, see if you can get it financed at a lower rate. And by that, look for that 0% financing deal.
It also helps to get multiple trade-in quotes, get offers from different dealerships and sites like CarMax and Carvana. For some context, the average new car price is around $48,000. Back to school shopping isn't just for kids. Teachers often spend large chunks of their paychecks bringing their classrooms to life. That's why some teachers are creating wish lists, inviting the community to help out and pitch in. Packages are piling up in first grade teacher Libby Duggan's classroom.
I'm excited about this. This will be a new fun thing for them to do for their soft open.
Friends and family are sending her games, books, and toys, so she's not stuck buying them all herself.
Oh, this is a parent whose child goes to this school who used to do my hair.
The contributions help bridge the gap between what the school offers and what she wants in her classroom.
So the school supplies a lot of paper, pencils, markers, crayons, things like that. I ask for books for my classroom library or my collection of books that I like to read aloud to the class. I ask for building materials and art materials that the typical school supply list doesn't provide. There's puzzles and games.
How it works is teachers post the items they want on an Amazon wish list. Then donors pick out something in their price range and the supplies are sent directly to the teacher. However, some teachers are still waiting for their wishes to be granted.
I didn't have anything from my Amazon list purchased yet.
Teacher Stacy Kelly said it's the little things that foster a positive learning environment.
Crayons, folders, books, bookcases.
These are starting to get well loved, so it might be time to get a refresh on these.
Items to help make classrooms a happy place for kids. Clear the List is what the crowdfunding movement is called. And if you do not know a teacher but want to help one out, there are Clear the List Facebook pages where teachers post their needs. Just look one up near you and help a local classroom. I'm Allison Gormly, and that's What's the Deal. For more episodes of What's the Deal, go to our video on demand and click on Shows at the top of your screen. There you'll find past episodes of What's the Deal plus other shows on demand.